Hi, I'm Susan Papanicholas from How Does Your Garden Grow in Seattle, Washington. It's the middle of August and I'm here today in a client's garden to show you this fabulous Oakleaf Hydrangea or Hydrangea quercifolia. Quercifolia means leaves like an oak, and as you can see, this plant gets its name from its leaf shape. These are lobed leaves that sort of look like an oak leaf. Really different than most hydrangea leaves, and they're really a wonderful feature of this plant. I feel like Oakleaf hydrangeas are as beautiful for their foliage as they are for their flowers. The leaves emerge in spring, and as they're folded up, they're kind of a light green or gray color, and they have almost like a fuzziness to them. And then they expand out into this bigger shape. Then they turn a little bit more green. You can see here that the newer leaves are a lighter green, almost gray color, and then they get green as they mature. The stems have a really lovely cinnamon color to them and they feel fuzzy. There's a lot of texture to this plant. And as the branches mature, that cinnamon colored bark can often be a little bit shaggy, so you have strips of shaggy bark hanging off of the branches, which really adds to the interest of this plant. In midsummer, they bloom with these panicles of flowers, like this. A little bit similar to a panicle hydrangea. They're in these cone shapes. Most of the time those flowers are single. This variety has double flowers. There are a lot of new varieties coming out of all kinds of hydrangeas, so there's a lot of different flower forms available. Those flowers will come out a little green, turn cream, and then they get a little bit of a blush to them as we move into fall, which can be really beautiful. The fall colors and aspect on this plant is fantastic. The leaves turn bright red and burgundy. You've got a lot of different colors happening on the plant at once. The flowers dry up into a really beautiful dry cone shape. Really, really pretty. And then when we move into winter, it will lose a lot of its leaves. It will hold on to those dried flower clusters. Some of the leaves on this particular species of hydrangea tend to stay on through the winter, which can add a lot to the garden, especially when they have those red colors to them. As winter progresses and they get a little tattered looking, it can help to clean up the plant by removing the old tattered foliage, but it has a long season of beauty from fall into winter. And then even when all the leaves are gone, it's really pretty because of that cinnamon colored shaggy bark. Then in spring, it leaves out again with these lovely gray-green leaves, lots of texture. It's bumpy and fuzzy and I just want to touch it all the time. Plus, it's got these gorgeous flowers on it. It's a really lovely plant in the garden. I like to use this where I want something that feels a little bit more woodlandy or natural as opposed to formal. It blends really nicely into a woodland habitat. It's growing here underneath this big Doug fir tree, and that is not an easy place for a plant to grow. We've amended the soil, it's got lots of organic matter in it, it is well irrigated, but it's holding its own in a place where a lot of things might not do as well. It does not like full shade or hot sun. It wants to kind of be in this partial shade situation where it's gonna get some sun throughout the day, but not bake in full sun all day long. And it does benefit from having even moisture all year, so it's one that you want to irrigate in the summer usually. So this is a great plant for a woodland garden, for partial shade conditions, where you want this gorgeous display of summer flowers, this really fun texture and wonderful fall color. Oakleaf hydrangeas are a fantastic addition to the garden.